Let me ask you this. Do you have, especially with so much going on, with the giving public talks and the lab and obviously your own photography career and trying to work, do you have any kind of daily habits, routines, or anything that help you stay organized, stay sane even throughout all that?
I am trying to develop new ones like as we speak. Um, and I think that's been partly because of the found freedom I have with the lab and the
Uh-huh.
fact that I'm not on editorial deadlines. I don't have an external structure being like, we need this from you right now. And then the experience of the book honestly taught me that my existing mechanisms and strategies and protocols are not adequate. And so that honestly prompted me to get tested for ADHD, which I recently learned I have. And
Mhm.
that's actually given me that's been a blessing because it's given me a whole new avenue to try to understand how to have agency over my own attention. And like this last week, I've started exercising in the mornings as
Mhm.
opposed like I used to try to stay in shape and run with my wife and I still go riding my bike with my friends. But to recognize, like, oh, wait a minute, this actually makes a difference for me to do an exercise outdoors at the beginning of my day, that actually sets me up to be able to be more focused throughout the rest of the day. And so that's like one little thing. Trying to include some sort of meditation practice too. That's honestly, that's been uh, less of an immediate feedback and
Mhm.
reward. It's sort of like you can't tell if you're doing it right. You can't
Yeah,
tell if
that's
you're
a
just
long play.
reinforcing your distraction.
Sure.
It's like I know it's useful. I don't know if I'm doing it right. So it's a little harder to stick with it, but to like go on an hour long bike ride in the morning and be like, wow, I can just like way more functional as a human. That has been literally the last couple of weeks a discovery that I'm like, oh, needs to be a daily practice that I really prioritize because it is so easy to get lost and spend the whole day like answering 10 emails and then reading the New York Times the rest of the time. And then you're just blowing through time until somebody is yelling at you that they needed something last week. And that's how I got through the book. And that was a messy way to do it. And that's inspired me to really find new strategies for that. So
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I I'm totally with you. I think exercise first thing in the morning. I've been a meditator for many, many years, but I also, I run, I'm mountain bike, I do all that stuff. And if I can get it in first thing in the morning, it, just sets yourself up. It's like so foundational to, I think even with that Inky program, and I think Montessori even kind of uses some of it, but even when my kids were little, there was this kind of whole philosophy of like expand and then contract, and so like
uh,
creative play and then come to learn, and I
yeah,
think we lose sight of that sometimes as adults where we're just like you said, you make the mistake of looking at your emails or something right when you wake up, and then the next thing you know, it's 8 o'clock at night, and you're like, well, I never did.
just
This,
scrolling. Yeah,
yeah, this is terrible.
yeah, yeah. For that reason, I signed off of social media those last couple of weeks as well. So I think that's been. I was running this experiment kind of the last few years. I haven't posted on Instagram for probably 3 years,
Mhm.
just to sort of see if I could get away with it because it's a major revenue stream for many of my friends and colleagues. And I was like,
Yeah.
can I do this and not be and still survive? And it went long enough that I was like, I'm going to deactivate my accounts and we'll see if that works. And I think for me personally, it's been an amazing sense of freedom. And that's been an important part of my mental hygiene, I guess.